Hello. So, apparently Inazuma's coming next patch. Who knew? It looks much bigger than expected. I thought it was just going to be like one island, but I don't know, maybe it's just the trailer. Maybe the trailer gives off the impression there's going to be a lot more content, then maybe we'll get the entire region in one go and that'll be it, and we'll just go through the story like in its entirety. But I really felt like they were going to cut it up a little bit. Maybe they'll do that still, I don't know. One thing mentioned in the trailer was that they kept mentioning over and over was this thing, ambition. I swear somebody mentioned that in a video at some point. Can't remember who made that video.
She ascended because she proved worthy, but I can't help but think she's only been locked into another prison as punishment for her ambition. I believe this is greater than Celestia. Just like the Caribbean sealed its people in the wind to protect them from the outside blizzard, Celestia seals its people in its sheltered eternity from the outside darkness.
There's quite a lot of information in that, whatever it was, special program. And honestly, I kind of skipped over quite a lot of stuff for a couple of reasons. One, I kind of want to discover it all for myself. I don't really want to get too spoiled, I guess, with all the ins and outs of everything. But I'm also kind of a bit low-key hype when it comes to Genshin at the moment. There's been quite a few people that I've spoken to that have actually quit Genshin, like this patch. And I find that quite interesting considering we just had like a big update with an explorable area and everything, and now we're getting like an entire region supposedly being released. I think the issue is we haven't really had any meaningful content, so to speak, since 1.2. We've basically just had loads of festivals, loads of mini games, stuff that basically comes and then it goes and then that's it. Even some of the story content, you do it then and then you can't redo it afterwards, it's just gone. The only stuff that kind of persists is like the Archon quests and stuff, but yeah, that is kind of, if you think about it, there's been like 2 or 3 quests. I mean, there was sort of the first one where we met Dainsley, and then the one where there was the upside down statue and we see our twin brother or twin sister, whichever you pick. And then there was the Kazuha one recently, over 6 months or 4 months or whatever it would have been. Because I mean, I guess you've got to also include the final updates to the Leeway chapter with Zhongli and stuff. So 4 major quests in 6 months, it's not a lot really if you think about it. And I think the problem is, because we've had very little areas to explore and stuff, what's happened is we've came into this recent patch where it's like, oh, by the way, there's a big area to explore. And people, because they've been in the mindset with Genshin of just log in, spend resin, do dailies, log out. When it actually comes to doing exploring again, which basically drew him to the game to begin with, it's like, I can't be bothered to do this. I just don't. I'm just gonna quit. And I think that's kind of how I felt with the archipelago myself. I kind of got to it and I was like, do I really have to explore all this? Do I want to explore all this? I mean, once I started exploring it, I started having fun again. It was like playing Genshin how it used to be. Those kind of things are very few and far between, to be honest. And we kind of have a lot of nothing in between. Saying nothing, that's kind of incorrect. I think there's a lot to be had when it comes to the events and stuff. But it's just stuff that comes and goes, and that's my main issue with it. The other thing to note is they introduce new bosses and stuff, which is, yay, great, a new boss. But the issue is the boss only serves the purpose as to basically farm items for your characters. So for example, Kenki or whatever his name is, the samurai guy, I only fought him like 3 times, and that was just to do the event. And then after that I didn't touch him at all because I don't have Kazuha. I know they put him in the recent event, and to be honest, don't get me started on the Vagabond event. I really had no drive to do that. I just did the bare minimum just to get all the rewards, and then that was it. I was so done with that event. there's a few things I'd like to see, which I don't think will happen, but when it comes to like permanent content, we need just better stuff. One of the things I was hopeful for with Genshin when it first was like about to come out was that we would actually get more meaningful dungeon type of content. Like we weren't just it won't just explore the open world and then go into these little trial rooms, fight a few things and then get rewards. Because the domains, to be honest, I hate domains. Domains are so damn rubbish. And there needs to be more to it. There needs to be more exploration when it comes to dungeons. I know we get like story dungeons, but they're just not very good. There's a few that have like nice little mechanics and you're like, oh, this is really cool. But they're really basic and they just serve as a means to go from point A to point B and then get a bit of story and then that's the end. And they haven't got a lot of depth. What I would love to see is kind of like, you know, we had the Misty Dungeon trial thing where you'd go in and you would have like a selection of characters that were trial characters, and then you'd go in, you'd do collect the runes or whatever, and then unlock the final door and fight a boss. There should be content like that in the game that is permanent, a bit different to the Misty Dungeon. Not exactly like the Misty Dungeon, but I mean, why can't we have these like the open world is, where they're explorable areas where you kind of go around, you explore, you find chests and stuff? Why are there not dungeons like that in the game? Even if they have some kind of procedural generation aspect to them that you get once a week. So then every week you can go into this dungeon, you can explore it. It's got multiple like rooms and pathways. It's got different challenges in each room. And at the end of these challenges you get a chest which gives you, say, a small amount of primo gems, 5 primo gems, some artifacts or whatever, and then you move on to the next room, whatever, until you finally come into the final room, which is a boss room, and you actually fight a boss. And then that boss like gives you like whatever, maybe you spend resin, but I think that's kind of rubbish. But you basically get a reward at the end of it. Why can't we have content like that? Instead of just glorified boss rushes or just trials, the exploration is not there. And when it comes to dungeons, they're not going to. But I would really like them to do something like that and have more permanent content like that in the game, because I just don't spend much time in Genshin anymore. I just kind of log in, do what I have to do as quick as possible, because I just want to go and do other things. And that's not good for your game, because what that leads to is everybody does that every single day and it becomes a routine and almost becomes a chore, and then when actual meaningful content comes out, they just don't want to do it because they're already in that mindset of get into Genshin, do my stuff and leave Genshin. And that's kind of where I'm at with Genshin at the moment. It's kind of rubbish, to be honest, and it's what they've created, at least for me. There might be other people that are still enjoying all the content they put out, and to be honest, I do enjoy a lot of the content they put out. It's just I don't always want to spend all my time in it like I feel like I should. Anyway, that was just one of my ideas. There's loads of things they could do with it. I mean, they could have kept the Theatre Mechanica stuff in the game and slowly added to it and had like a weekly tied to it where you could maybe give you some like a score in the battle pass. I mean, that's the other thing, is they could do more with the battle pass, and they could tie more permanent content to that, but instead they opt for these temporary things that then just go away, and I just think it's bad. I just think it's really bad for the game. On the bright side, Inazuma's coming, so again we've got more permanent content there. It'd be nice to see what comes with Inazuma, but I'm kind of concerned that it's going to be more of the same. Once you've done all the stuff in Inazuma, which everybody's going to do, they're going to rush it. They're going to rush right the way through it, and then they're going to be like, okay, that's Inazuma. What's next? Where's our content? Where's Sumeru? And people are just going to complain and bitch about it, which again sucks. But I don't know, I guess that's just how it is. The other thing that's kind of killed the hype for me is leakers. Like, for me personally, are just such a problem, because I really dislike leaks, to be honest. I understand that to some people they have their benefits, because oh great, I know what's coming, so I can plan ahead. As a free-to-play player, I get to plan ahead. I don't really agree with that sentiment. I don't really think if you're free-to-play, you really deserve the privilege of having a heads-up anyway, but that's a whole other discussion. When it came to the trailer, I watched the trailer, and the trailer's cool, right? I'm not bashing on the trailer. But the issue is, all the things in that trailer I already knew existed because of leakers, and it's not because I went out and looked at those leaks. I've tried to keep away from leaks as best as I can, but all that stuff I've seen in thumbnails, I've seen on Twitter or whatever, and to be honest, I stopped using Twitter. I don't really go on there at all anymore. Just go on there occasionally to check to see if anybody's messaged me, and then that's it. But I mean, take the reveal for Baal at the end, and she pulls that sword out the chest. If they hadn't leaked the image of her to begin with, that would have been such a cool moment. But it was already spoiled by leakers, and it just kills the hype. I should have been way more excited to see that trailer, and I just was kind of, oh great, yeah, knew that was there, knew that was coming, okay, yeah, blah blah blah. It still looks cool as hell, but it's just such a shame. The only thing from that entire special program that really actually kind of excited me, which is kind of lame if you think about it, but it was the weapon banner changes. That's literally the only thing they said that I was like, holy crap, that's awesome. Even though it's kind of contrived, and even now I don't have any idea how it works. It sounds really convoluted for what it's supposed to do. But as long as it makes a weapon banner not absolute horseshit, it's good to me. At least you'll be able to get what you actually want from the banner for a change. So at least it's a step in the right direction. I mean, on the surveys, every single time I was like, fix the weapon banner. Fix the weapon banner. By the way, did you know your weapon banner sucks? Fix it. But luckily they've actually listened, which, I mean, I wish they would do more to help the state of the game, but the problem is everybody's so okay with the gacha system when they really shouldn't be. It's kind of bullshit. I have got some future plans for the channel. I've been thinking about changing it up a bit. Mostly because most of the stuff I've been doing is the story quests. And to be honest, I'm kind of just really bored of doing them. It's not playing them. When I play them through, that's fun. That's the fun part. It's when it comes to editing them. Because there's a lot of nothing, and the editing's just it takes a real long time. And I have to cut out all the crap that is just not really interesting. It kind of feels a bit like a grind. And I actually think that people, they don't really enjoy them very much. Because if I take the Kazuha video, for example, at the beginning I go into the trial with Kazuha. I just talk random crap as I do. And I try him out and stuff. And then I finish, and then I leave and I go and do the story quest. If you look at the graph for retention, the retention's pretty high when I'm playing Kazuha, and the moment I start to read the story quest thing, the retention just drops off. And I think there's two reasons for that. One, probably people kind of just don't give a crap about the story quest and watching somebody play through it because they've already played through it themselves. Or two, they haven't played it yet, so they don't want to be spoiled, so they're not going to watch it. And it's the same with videos that are completely story quest. There's low retention on the videos. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop doing videos on story quests, and instead I'm going to stream me doing the story quests. For one, it's going to cut down the editing. It's going to cut down the time I spend on story quest videos Probably by about 90%, because playing through it will take me about an hour, but then when it comes to editing, it just takes hours and hours, because you've got obviously an hour's worth of footage, and then when you're editing it, it ends up taking about 10 times as long to get through all that footage. So you probably look like, let's just say for argument's sake, 10 hours just to go through an hour's worth of footage. That may be kind of an extreme estimation. It might be more 5-6 hours. It really depends. If I'm not enjoying doing that and I'm spending that much time doing it, it's really not worth it. And if people aren't really sticking around and they're not watching it, it's kind of even less worth it. So I think I need to, instead of doing story quests, I need to do other stuff. I need to like I used to do, like in the early Goose, I used to kind of do a bit more creative stuff and actually write jokes and have a bit of fun with it, instead of just reading story quests and reacting. Oh yeah, I'm going to probably change my upload schedule as well. So if I'm going to stream the story quests, what I'll do is, when it comes to other actual videos, I'm probably only going to do one a week as a result. So I may be doing like a stream, or like an hour or two long stream every week or every 2 weeks, or depending on what content's there. Then I'll probably just do one video a week just to keep the channel going. It's not just because I'm dropping the story quest and I'm doing streaming as well, but it's more that I've got other things that I want to work on, other projects. I want to spend less time doing YouTube, more time doing those other projects and getting them into a good place. As for the lore channel, because my hype is pretty low for Genshin in general at the moment, I'm not really that into it. I'm just kind of, I still enjoy the game, still looking forward for more content. I'm just kind of, maybe at some point I'll regain that hype for and like be really into it again, but I'm a lot less into it than I was. That's kind of a reason why I haven't been doing as much lore. I haven't really had the drive to really go into lore, come up with an idea and write a good video for the lore channel. To be honest, I haven't really looked at the lore channel for a few weeks, and I went on there today and I've got over 20k subs. I was like, oh, I actually went over 20k subs. I didn't know that happened. Will I not do lore videos ever again? I probably will do a lore video at some point. I just don't know when it's going to be. It needs to be something that I really feel will be good and something that I really want to do. Otherwise there's no point doing it, because they take so long to make. They take about a week's worth of my time. So as for now, the lore channel's kind of in limbo. It's just kind of there. It's not really doing much. Inazuma might bring us some really interesting stuff to talk about and whatever, but again, as I want to put time into my other projects, it's another reason why the lore channel's going to kind of take a bit of a hit, even more so than this channel. As for Inazuma and summoning plans for the next kind of the next month or so, I'm probably going to try and summon an Ayaka. I've got 70 pity at the moment on the free-to-play account, so I'm hoping if I'm on a 50-50, right? So if I'm lucky, I might get Ayaka. But if I don't get Ayaka, to be honest, I don't care. I used to be really hyped for Ayaka, but now I kind of watched the on the live stream, I watched it and I was thinking, she doesn't really look that interesting, to be honest. She kind of just does like, her burst is kind of just like an AoE around her, and her skill is just an AoE around her, and her burst is kind of just like this projectile thing. And she, like, mechanically, she looks kind of boring. I guess we'll see when I try her out, but I don't really, if I don't get her on that first 50-50, I'm just going to go, okay, we're going for Yoimiya, man. Everything else is going on Yoimiya, because I'd rather have her than Ayaka, to be fair. So that's my plans. We're going to try and summon on both of them. On the free-to-play account, that is. Because all the, on the main account, all those Primo Gems are going to someone special, so... I figured I'll go through the other characters. Right, so in the trailer you got Toma, right, who's the blonde boy with the little Oni horns. He's probably a 4-star, right? So, don't really care about him. He's a hard skip. If he's a 5-star, that's even better, because I can just skip him and save all those primo gems, so that will be great. The next one is Sarah, I think her name is, who's like the Electro Archer. She might be a 4-star as well. She may be a 5-star. She seems like the type of character I should be into, but I kind of not feeling it, to be honest. I'm like, it'd probably be hard to skip on her as well. Then there's Kokomi, who's, I think she was leaked a long time ago, who's a Hydro character, and she's quite cute. So I keep an eye on her. She might be one I go for. Then after that we've got
Goro.
So Goro, I kind of hope he's a 5-star, just so I can hard skip on that stupid fox boy. He's just the type of character I really dislike. He looks so stupid. He basically looks like Tails from Sonic. What an absolute dumbass. Yai Miko. So, you know, it's Yai Sakura, right? So, I'm going to wait to see a gameplay. I'm kind of in two minds about her. I'm not sure if I like her design or not. It's alright. But like, if you look at the other Yai Sakuras from Genshin Impact, I really like their designs. Especially, let me find the name of it. So there's the Kasumi one, who is technically not, from what I understand from the lore, is technically not Yai Sakura. It's like, I can't even remember, to be honest. There's some kind of story about it. But that design is so damn cool. She's like kind of like a shinobi style in like a little black outfit. The flaming one as well, such a cool design. The one in Genshin is a lot more... She looks like she's going to be a Catalyst user. She might not be, but she looks to me she's going to be more of a caster type of character, which is fine. We'll have to see. If her gameplay looks really fun, I'll probably pull for her. Otherwise, she might be another hard skip. So that's kind of like every character is a hard skip. And I kind of hope, except for Kokomi, but I kind of hope that is the case. Because the actual character I do want is obviously Raiden Mei. And that's what I'm going to call her. I'm not going to call her Baal anymore, because she looks like Raiden Mei. And if her name is not Mei, then there is something completely wrong with the designers of this game. Because obviously we know her name's Baal, right? That's her Archon name. And then her local name is the Raiden Shogun. But she doesn't actually have her like character name, so to speak, yet. That hasn't been revealed. Like, what I'm talking about is like Venti and Zhongli. That's their human name, so to speak. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say her name's gonna be Mei. If her name is not Mei, I'm gonna be really surprised. In fact, her name is gonna be Raiden Mei. Like, because if you look at all the Inazuma characters, they all seem to have, at least most of them that I've seen, they all seem to have their full name. Like Kaedahara Kazuha or Kamisato Ayaka. I'm pretty low key when it comes to Genshin at the moment. I've actually been playing some other games quite a bit. I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV quite a lot lately, actually. Going through the story with a couple of my peeps. Being pretty damn fun. I did think about doing some Final Fantasy XIV content, but I'm not really sure what to do and what would be fun yet, so I've got a few ideas knocking around. If I'll do them or not, we'll see. Actually just finished Heaven's Ward a couple of days ago, and goddamn was it good. The base game story is actually kind of, I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's not very good either. But all that slog, because it's like really drawn out and I think it's partly probably because some of it came in patches, like slowly, so if you were playing it at the time it wasn't so bad, but playing it all in one go is such a damn grind. But Heaven's Ward was just so much better, so if you ever think about playing Final Fantasy XIV on the free-to-play trial, just stick with it and get through A Realm Reborn and get into Heaven's Ward, because that story is so damn good. Definitely worth the slog. So let me know how you feel about Genshin right now. Are you hyped? Or are you feeling like me at the moment, where you're just kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it, but we'll see how it is. I know there's been a few people in the comments that have told me that they've stopped playing. And I've spoken to a few other people that have said the same thing. I'm going to keep playing. I'm probably going to keep playing this game for a long time. It's just how invested I am is going to probably go up and down as time goes on. It's also cool to see that some of the people that have stopped playing actually still comment in the videos and still watch the videos, so that's kind of cool. I assume they still are interested in the story and stuff, but they don't really want to play the game. So as long as I'm streaming the story quests, at least, like if that's why they watch me, they can still watch the streams of me doing them. I'll always archive that kind of stuff. And if you play Final Fantasy XIV, let me know. Tell me what jobs you enjoy. I personally play Lancer and Dancer at the moment. I'm a Lancer Dancer. But I've done a fair bit on the White Mage and the Red Mage. They're also pretty fun, so yeah, let me know if you play it. What jobs are you playing? Are you a level 80 and not a scrub like me? Probably later in the week I'll do the last Kazuha, whatever it is, the story. The last bits probably might be quite funny, because I actually do the little tournament thing, and I had a little bit of fun with the tournament when I did it, so it might be a bit more interesting than the other videos. We'll see how it goes. Next week I'll probably start only doing one video a week, and I'll probably come up with something a bit more interesting to do. Maybe release on Friday or Saturday or something like that. I will see you on the morrow. Goodbye.